Today we're going to talk about the Marvin Ridge way of counting these symbols and how to write them in written music. We'll need to know what the symbols mean, how many beats they are, and how to count them out. And we're going to learn what we call those in written music. So first, we have groups of notes, and we have groups of rests. And we know that notes can be of different lengths. This note is a sound that lasts for one beat. It's called a quarter note. This note is a note that lasts for 2 beats, and it's called a half note. This note lasts for 4 beats, and it's called a whole note. Rests can last for any amount of time. This is called a quarter rest, lasts for 1 beat. Half rest lasts for 2 beats, and whole rest lasts for 4 beats. With that knowledge, let's take a group of 4 quarter notes in one measure. The way that we would count this, using our numbered system of counting, is by giving a number to each beat in the measure. We would count this 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we take it in rhythm, we would count it 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's take this last one and make it a rest. We still have a beat here, but it's silent. So what we're going to do is we're going to put brackets around this beat. Notice that the brackets have squares as opposed to a parentheses, which looks like this. This symbol is going to be different, and we're going to talk about what that means later. So a beat of rest is a beat of silence. So that means we're not going to say this 4 when it comes up. We would count this 1, 2, 3. Here it is again. 1, 2, 3. And that was my beat of silence on the last one. What if we made this a rest? Then we have 2 notes and 2 rests, and each beat has 1 beat. Each note has 1 beat. So we're going to still make this 3. We're going to put brackets around that as well. So we would count this 1, 2 with 2 beats of silence here. And you would follow it along this way. 1, 2. So whenever we have a rest, we use brackets. And whenever we have a note, we use the number. And the number always corresponds to the number of beats in the measure. So what about notes that last more than 1 beat? Here we have a time signature of 4/4, which means we have 4 beats in this measure. But we're going to make it 2 half notes now, which means each of these has 2 beats. If we write it this way, then we're not showing that there are 4 beats in this measure, because this first note takes up 2 beats. So the beats really happen like this. And what we're going to do, since this is not a rest on this second beat, it's a sustain, we're going to write it differently. We're going to put parentheses around the sustained beats. So the way we would count this would sound like this. 1, 3. Here it is again. 1, 3. Let's try it with a whole note. As we went over, a whole note has 4 beats. So So we still have to write all 4 beats in this measure. But these 3 beats here, we say the first beat because that's where the note is. We're going to put all of these in parentheses. And you can do this one of 2 ways. You can either give parentheses to each one, or you can just put parentheses around the group and group them together like this. So we would count this. 1. Notice my voice sustains all the way through beat 4. Here it is again. 1. So today we learned that there are notes and there are rests. We always notate the notes with a number. We notate rests with a number and a bracket around it, and not saying that number. And we notate sustain with a parentheses around the number, and we hold the sound from the previous number.